Hi everybody, my name is Adam. I'm back here with another video, and today I'm going to go over Bitcoin and what we can expect going forward. Is it too late to get in, or is it not to get in? So I'm going to cover that here, and also drinking coffee out of a Bitcoin mug here. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to it. Every 4 years, there is a Bitcoin halving that happens. So that's when the supply of Bitcoin coming in that's getting mined is cut in half. So the rate of it coming in gets cut in half. And I have these marked up here from the past ones that we have seen. So we are about a year away from the next one that actually comes out. So we're 3 years in. So the last one that happened here was back in 2020. And then we saw this massive run. So if you see a year before, so this is where we are right now, a year before. So a year before it happened over here, it had a market structure shift above this structure here. It rallied here about 90 to 100%. And then if we look over here from where it broke structure right here within this area, I'm expecting a nice rally. I don't expect it to go that much. I'm probably expecting at most 60%, the lower end, maybe like a 37% rally from where it broke structure and hit the buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency within here. And you can even look back in the past when the last one that happened here, we had a market structure shift a year beforehand. If you notice right here, it was shifted structure about a year beforehand, a little rally, but this is before it got really big. But if you can see, after all of that happened, we always had the pullback back down into the range. So if you notice here, we had that shift here and it rallied up and it came back down. So everybody in their mountains are like, oh God, let's get back in. Let's get back in. And that comes right back down. COVID started, then they started printing money. So there's a lot of fundamentals with that situation. But if we do want to reiterate past history, we can look at this within here. What if we get a nice rally up in here, and then we start seeing this, oh, bull runs back, bull runs back. I'm already starting to see some of it. It's not too crazy yet. But once you get up in here, I think everybody say, oh, bull runs back, bull runs back. We're going to look for the bull flags and all that. But then price might just trickle its way back down. The halving comes out, and then maybe we get a run up into here. Maybe. This is just one scenario. Or if things really do get bad in the economy and macro picture, like obviously I don't have a crystal ball. I just know how to tell patterns and see where the draw and liquidities are. That's like all I've been doing basically, and then investing long term. But if we do get up in here, there's another scenario. If things do really get bad in the economy, we could work our way back down in here. But statistically proven right now, we are likely to get up into this low to mid 30K range. We just hit over 30K today. So now maybe we get a nice pullback down back in this range for the rest of the year, and it just consolidates its way down, and then we rally up later. But we'll see what happens there. All right, we got this gap up here on the monthly time frame. So this is my draw on liquidity. So the market is either trying to always rebalance itself or take liquidity. So what we just did down here was take liquidity down here in the monthly time frame. We started working our way higher. Going into the daily time frame, we can see that there was just order flow all the way up. So we came down into this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, came up, a nice market structure shift, a nice leg higher, retested back down in another BTC right here, and that was basically institutional order flow entry drill to then shift price up higher than there. We then consolidated for, was it 3 weeks? That was just a bunch of bullshit in my opinion. But anyways, it just consolidated, came back down. And after that rejection on the 4-hour time frame, there was more entries for me. So my main entries are down here. Then I'm looking at bullish order flow while my eyes are always up here. So this is where the patience comes in. There was a lot of if-then moments if price did want to create SMT divergence at the highs with Ethereum, which it did. But price never really had the bearish closures down below into like the 27, well below 26.5. There was no daily closures below there that wanted to shift price down lower back into the 23K range. So we just consolidated. Basically smart money's loading up, reloading. We're really trying to see where price wants to go. And then on the 4-hour time frame, you can really start to see some more structure within this area. Because after we came down and took this liquidity from these lows, we then consolidated, and this was a nice indication that price did want to start going higher, especially after this 1 4-hour dildo close here. It came down, tested here, and then it ripped up within that area. And then we have another shift here, and after this shift here. So like this is where I'm looking. I'm looking for liquidity to be taken, and I'm looking for shifts in market structure. So liquidity, we have the consolidation entering within here, but my main entries were within here as well. So these are really what I look at. And then I look for the market structure shift. Same over here. There was no liquidity taken, but if you look, there's SMT on ETH. So ETH, I believe, made that lower low. Let's see. We got ETH right here. Yeah, ETH made that lower low. So we made the higher low here. So that ETH took liquidity, and then we had our market structure shift, and it was more prominent here on Bitcoin. So that was another entry, in my opinion, for Bitcoin. And then we started rallying up within this area. So is it too late? That's the question. Is it too late to get in? I mean, it's up to you and your trading plan. I'm personally not looking to load up much more, depending on if we get a nice consolidation and break of structures here on the 4 hour. Let's say if we get another consolidation, rip up, and then a retest here, maybe I'll take it higher up into here. But if it just starts to break down, obviously I'm not going to take any more positions on it because I'm sitting pretty good. I've been waiting for this move to happen for a while now. But if you get a setup, not financial phase, but if you get a setup, keep your eyes on these levels that are up here in the monthly gap. We can even go over here to the CME futures here on just the Bitcoin CME futures. Look at these gaps. We have a gap up here at 34,500-ish. Up to 36,000. So there's a gap there. So if you look at previous gaps, there's a gap over here, came down, filled it, went higher. Gap here, came up, filled it, dropped. Okay, there's a gap here, came up, filled it in, flew higher. You know what I mean? There's a gap here, we come down, boom, hit it, reject it, and then there you go. There's gaps here, we never met these gaps, you know what I mean? This gap over here, we never met this gap for years later. So 2020, then 2022, we finally hit this gap that was over here. Some gaps may not be filled, but more likely than not, they are. Look at this massive run up we had here. We have a gap here. Tap the gap. There's the start of the bull run. We may never see this low again. We may never. That's a possibility of never seeing this low again. And yeah, we just look at these gaps and we can expect them to be filled at a future date. It doesn't need to happen right away. But we have this gap up there. I'm looking to target up within this area, which also aligns in with this monthly SIBI as well. So I'm going to wrap this up here on Bitcoin. Hopefully this gives you some price targets. Going over here to Ethereum. I mean, I can give you some similar price targets. My charts are a little messy, but I'm looking up here into the SIBI as well. Maybe 50% of this, maybe 2,300 on Ethereum, if you can get up into this range, up above this high as well. So that's just what I'm looking at within here. So I'm going to wrap this video up. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Take it easy. Love y'all.